You know, in the entrepreneurial world, anytime that you start something new, there's kind of a pain that comes along with the new experience. And, we've all experienced that many times in our life, and it's growing pain. And what it means is that, kind of the skin that you have, that you've developed from all your entrepreneurial career up until now, it's kind of filled up. Your skin is filled up, and now you're growing, so the skin has to expand. So, there's many examples from that from the natural world of things having to expand. And the one thing is to not be discouraged by the pain because it feels like a failure. It feels like, oh, what have I done here? And I'll give you an example. Just give you an example of that. About 4.5 years ago, I just decided that we had the capability now to create smaller books, and the world likes smaller books rather than bigger books. So I just made one of my 25-year goals, and I said, over the next 25 years, that's 100 quarters, I'm going to write a brand new book every quarter. And but I was approaching that with my present level based on past grading of a book. And basically every book I wrote before I started the quarterly books had taken me about 300 hours. So I got into the goal about 2 weeks, and I said, oh my golly, what have I gotten myself into? And I announced this publicly, and that's one of the ways I make sure that I follow through. And then I began thinking, I said, well, what if I could write the book in 1/10 of the time? What kind of teamwork would I need to actually do that? And so the last book that we just came out with, which is my 18th book, and I've done 18 books in 19 quarters. I wrote that book in 35 hours. That's my time. There was hundreds of hours that went into it, but it wasn't my hours. It was other skilled people. So I set the goal, and my present capabilities were not capable of 100 books in 100 quarters. But when I rethought it, I said, well, the only thing that has to change is me, and I have to just focus on the part of the book that's crucial for me to do. And then we have 9 other people who work on the book. And so it's often why goals are tough for a lot of people, because they realize that when you set the goal, you don't actually have the capability to achieve it. Otherwise, it's not a very good goal. I mean, if you could achieve it right now, why do you have a goal for it? You can already do it. So just remember that the pain of growing when you set a new goal is going to feel like a failure, but if you just stay with it, your capability is going to grow to the size of the goal that prompted you to grow.